This is Zach Meir with the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Vox Markets for Monday, the 6th of December. Starting off with Conroy, and you can see that shares building nicely on that break of that resistance line there from the beginning of the year. That was around the 23 pence level, decent weekly close above the 200-day line at 24, and the longer we stay above 24, the greater the chance of a move towards the top of that rising 2021 channel as high as 50 pence. Time frame on that the next couple of months, I suppose. First hurdle ready to stay above 28 pence, which was September resistance above that. Then we should start accelerating to an initial target around 35, and then obviously 50 or so in the distance. Moving along to a stock which is always active in terms of social media and remains so. Here we've got Caragal Gold, and here you can see that the shares have broken that line of resistance comprehensively now at 1.25 pence. The longer we stay above that, the greater the chance of at least a move towards October resistance around the 1.5 pence level, perhaps by the end of this month or even sooner. Moving along to Genedrive, which seems to be regaining its old form. Here the shares up nearly 20%. It's a good thing I've been charting them quite a lot recently. Just trying to break out of that bull flag that we've had at 47 pence. Above that on an end of day close basis, we've got the 200-day line at 55, hopefully by the end of the week, and then maybe by the end of next month up to 80 pence, which is that July resistance line projection at the top of the broadening triangle from the summer of this year. Moving along to a stock which is also rehabilitating itself quite well. I think the pieces seems to have broken out in one of its territories. Here we've got KEFI breaking that line of resistance there from back in October, and the 200-day moving average at 0.95 pence. Above that, looking towards a line of resistance from back in October. It's heading as high as 1.4 pence perhaps as soon as the end of next month. Moving on to Okio, and here you can see that the shares responding well to news that the company's skipping phase 1 trials and going straight to phase 2 next year. Here we've got the shares now basically breaking through the old April-May resistance around 7.5 pence or 7.75 pence, and above that on an end of day close basis. Could be that the shares hit that the top of that July rising trend channel at 12 pence, perhaps as soon as the end of this month. This stage generally back below the 200-day line around the 6 pence level, really delaying the upside scenario rather. On to Petrotal, and here another recovery situation. Looks like it's in a broadening triangle from this time last year. Floor of the triangle at around 16 pence, and above 16 pence it could be that we see the shares hitting that January resistance line projection at 28 pence, perhaps as soon as the end of this month. Onto a stock which I covered last week as a request. Here it's back in its own right. Shoezone making progress step by step, I suppose, really. And here you can see that we've got the overall rising trend channel from April last year, top of the channel heading towards £1.40. End of day close through £1.15, £1.16. The initial November resistance, or the November resistance in fact, could take the shares up to £1.40 as soon as the end of this month. Not too many bulletin board heroes today, so we're going on to somewhat unusual fare. Here we've got Thungela, and here we've broken above recent resistance in the 50-day moving average at £3.65 or £3.63, let's call it. Above that, the next resistance up as high as £4.20, maybe a decent target for the end of the year. And the way things are going, we can actually see much more of Thungela in terms of the upside over the course of 2022, something to look forward to. Finishing off with Tavistock, and here you can see that the shares broke out of the rather steep rising trend channel they were in previously, and the positive of that is that we never went below the 200-day moving average, currently at 3.6 pence. Above that, looking for decent upside, perhaps not as steep as the line I drew previously, but perhaps they could head up towards 9 pence, maybe on a 2 to 3 month view, which is a January 2021 resistance line projection. If you're cautious on the shares, maybe wait for a comprehensive break of that line of resistance from August around, well, just below the current levels, so maybe on a weekly close basis, but 4.5 pence plus on a weekly close basis. You can see the shares up to 9 pence on a couple of months basis, maybe by the end of January or going into February, something like that. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.